Hey guys, it's Kevin again, and I know what you guys are saying. Why are you reviewing this movie, Kevin? Why the hell, if any Christmas movie you could be reviewing, why the hell are you reviewing this movie? Well, let me explain something to you guys. This movie is one of the most nostalgic Christmas movies for me, and in my opinion, is a classic. It is a Christmas classic. It is a movie I watch every single year. Ever since this was on TV, I have watched it. It's extremely nostalgic for me, and that movie is the 2008 TV movie classic, in my opinion, Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. Now, let me explain why I'm reviewing this movie. First of all, guys, if you look at my top 10 lists of Christmas movies from last year, this was number 10. And I remember when this movie first came out. First of all, guys, I am a huge fan of Drake and Josh. Drake and Josh is actually what got me into Nickelodeon and into shows like that. You know, like that's what got me into like shows like iCarly and Victorious and things like that. And I'm getting very nostalgic here, guys, but like that really is what got me into those kind of shows. Also, Drake and Josh was a very good show, in my opinion, on Nickelodeon. One of my favorite Nickelodeon shows of all time, probably. Not one of my favorite shows of all time, but still a very, very good show. It's one of the shows I'll watch if I'm bored or things like that. And this movie, I honestly didn't know how to feel about this movie because this movie came out a year after Drake and Josh ended. I believe, yeah, 15 months after the end of the original Drake and Josh series, and I thought the series finale was perfect and didn't really need anything else, and was kind of iffy of how this movie was going to be when it first came out, I remember. I remember they showed the trailers, and it really looked stupid to me. It looked literally just like Drake and Josh go to jail. That's what it literally looked like. But I remember I watched the movie, and I was actually, excited to watch it, and I love this movie. Okay, this is, as I said, one of my favorite Christmas movies of all time. I watch it every single year. I have the DVD, for crying out loud. I have the DVD. And I remember how I got the DVD. It was like a surprise Christmas present for me. By the way, guys, DVD is very, very rare. You can only get it on Amazon. If you guys really want it, get it on Amazon. It's really cheap on there. But that's why, I don't know why I have the DVD. I just do, but I love this movie. I think it is one of the best Christmas movies of all time, and I love the idea of it. I think it's probably my favorite. It's probably my favorite Christmas TV movie, definitely. Like out of any like TV show that did a Christmas special movie, this is probably my favorite one. I don't think anything. It doesn't get better than Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, in my opinion. But let's talk about the plot of Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, which is kind of complex, actually. Basically, the plot of Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh is that Drake and Josh are planning on having separate Christmases together because their parents are going away for a tropical vacation. So Drake is planning on going to Vegas, but while Josh wants to have a traditional family Christmas, with him, Drake and Megan, but Drake is planning on going to Las Vegas, and Drake throws a party on the roof at the movie premiere, basically. He throws a party there, an ugly holiday sweater party, and there are all these, like, really bad, all of a sudden there are these goons there and everything, and, Drake is like, did you invite them? And Josh is saying, no, he did not, and Josh ends up getting arrested mistakenly. It's all a misunderstanding. He ends up getting arrested for what ended up happening, because he ends up in the trunk of the goon's car, and so that ends up happening. And basically, he ends up in jail, but Drake tries to get him out of jail. But they both end up getting into severe problems because, of course, Drake just tried to, like, bail him out of jail, which is illegal. So they end up going to court and everything. And they're told by the judge that they are okay, they're free and everything. But then they're approached by this parole officer. And this parole officer tells Drake and Josh that there was this promise that Drake had made earlier in the movie to this girl, Mary Alice. He wasn't serious about it. He was only doing it to get himself out of it because he was being chased by, like, this girl who was in love with him and everything, which is a very funny moment. But he told her that he would give her and her family the best Christmas ever. What he didn't realize that girl has a foster family, and basically the parole officer tells him if they do not, if they do not give this family the best Christmas ever, they're going back to jail. And that's basically what the movie's about. They have to give this, this family the best Christmas ever. And that's what the basic plot of Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh is about. And I think that's a very, very good plot. I actually really like the plot of that movie. It's not a traditional Christmas plot, which I definitely really like, and I think it's very well done, definitely. So let's talk about some of the things I really like about this movie. First of all, the acting. The acting in this movie is surprisingly amazing. The acting gets really, really good in this movie, and there's a lot of stuff that I really, really like that this movie does. A lot of stuff that it does that's a little bit different from the TV show. First of all, our two main stars here, of course, Drake Bell and Josh Peck, always work great together. They always work great on Drake and Josh together, and they work even better on this. But one of the things that I love this movie shows is it really shows that they can handle emotion very, very well. They had some emotional emotional scenes here and there on Drake and Josh. They're more like touching scenes, but this actually gives them some pretty sad scenes to deal with, and I thought they both handled it very, very well, definitely. I thought that was very, very well done. They both handled it, extremely well. Miranda Cosgrove, not really in the movie as much as you thought. That's because she was doing iCarly at the time. Of course, she plays Megan, their evil sister and everything. And of course, she's always very, very funny. She doesn't have too much to do in this movie, but what she does get to do is very funny. They sort of recruit her to take down this parole officer because he's up their ass and everything. He's giving all these like speeding tickets and things like that. So she's trying to help them out, and I thought her little thing that she did, she's not in the movie very much, but what she did was funny, of course. Not the funny stuff Megan's ever done, but still funny stuff. Crazy Steve plays a much bigger role in this movie than usual, Jerry Trainer, and I thought he did a good job, definitely. Of course, all the other characters are great, Audrey, Walter, their parents. They actually have this side plot where they're going to this tropical vacation, and they run into all kinds of problems. Very funny to watch. Of course, you got Mindy and Craig and Eric and Helen. They're all really great. Even Mrs. Hafer makes like a cameo in this movie, so they're all very good in the movie. But I really want to talk about the people that are only in this movie for this movie. And they really make the movie for me. First of all, our main one here is Bailee Madison as Mary Alice, and she's just fantastic. She really is what makes this movie so emotional for me. I mean, her family is probably my favorite plot of this movie, because her family really makes the movie a lot more emotional, a lot more touching. She's basically in this foster home with these kids who, as their father Craig puts it, their foster dad Craig, as he puts it, he is, he gets the kids that are kind of troubled and are kind of hard to place in foster homes. So you got a lot of fun characters here. You got Luke, who is a very quiet character. He doesn't really like to do much. He doesn't like to participate as much in things. He's very much a quiet, sort of like, I don't want to say he's shy, but like he doesn't want to participate in things. He's very like, I don't want to participate in this. Like, for example, they go like, there's a part where they're getting a tree and everything. He doesn't want to participate with them. Then you have these two twin sisters, Lily and Violet, who are constantly getting into fights. It's very funny to watch. Camille, they're actually twins in real life, Camille Goldstein and Cosette Goldstein. They both did a very good job, and I thought they were both very funny. Then you have David Wilson as Trey, who is kind of like the annoying brother who just keeps cracking jokes. He's really funny to watch. Then you have David Gore as Ziegfeld, who is a kid who speaks in some really weird language. We don't know why he speaks in that language, but he does. But all the kids are very, very funny to watch, and it's cool to see Drake and Josh's reaction, sort of how Drake and Josh want to help them out. That's one of the things I really like about the movie, is that Drake and Josh really did want to help them out, and sort of the different ways they wanted to give them best Christmas ever. Drake kind of thinks of it as all, like, commercial, and like, oh, let's buy things, let's just do this for them, let's just, give them but Josh wants to give them a traditional Christmas, which is really interesting to watch, and I like the, the way they sort of bonded over that. That was very well done, definitely. There's a great scene in here where they all end up singing Christmas carols, and it's a very fun scene. It's one of the best scenes in the movie. I definitely really enjoy that. But really, who makes this movie for me, and one of the funniest people in this movie, is David Pressman as Officer Perry J. Gilbert. He is their parole officer, and his character is very, very funny. I thought his character was very well done, in my opinion. I really liked his character. He is basically the main antagonist of this movie. He keeps giving Drake and Josh speeding tickets because he gives them, like, these ankle bracelets to wear, so he can keep them, watch their every move. He's very, very funny to watch. He keeps getting them, like, speeding tickets. He gives them, like, a ticket for public nudity because they end up getting, like, their clothes stripped off of them by these, like, guys in the bushes and everything. He literally just keeps getting them into bad situations. Like, you can see that he just wants to get them back to jail. He's a very mean-spirited man. And the twist with his character, it's kind of stupid. It is, but it works. The twist of his character is that one Christmas, the one present he wanted was a monkey, and it didn't end up going well. The monkey ended up destroying things and everything, and it horrified him. So that's why he hates Christmas so much. And yes, it is ridiculous, but it really does work, in my opinion. The twist with his character, I think, really does work, in my opinion. I like the twist. I mean, again, it's silly, but it works, and it makes you really care about his character more. And I like it. I think he definitely did a very good job in his role. And no one in this movie is hamming it up. I mean, some people, yes, it can be a little cheesy, but for me, it's not really cheesy. I think it's a well-done movie. The directing by Michael Grossman, I thought he did a really good job, definitely. I thought the directing was really good, because as I said, Drake and Josh never had that emotional core to it, and that's one of the things I love that this movie does. And it really does get emotional in the second half of this movie, which I really like. The Foster family makes it a lot more emotional. The screenplay is also very good to this movie. The score, I forgot how good the score really was to this movie, and this movie never ceases to put a smile on my face. I forgot to say this movie always puts a smile on my face, and it always makes me just love this show again, and it's great to watch again. And this movie's also, while I said it is very emotional, it's also very, very funny. There's some very funny scenes in this movie. Some people could say their scenes are like a rip-off of Christmas Vacation. No, it's not. I'd say it's more like, just like, if, it's Drake and Josh. What do you expect? There's gonna be slapstick, there's gonna be crazy stuff like that. It's Drake and Josh, and there are actually some very, very funny moments in this movie. And in my opinion, this is the best thing that Drake and Josh really ever did, because it has that emotional core in there. It has those funny moments in there. Yes, it doesn't have as much for Megan to do, but on the scale of, like, quality, this is really the best thing they've done. I mean, my mom, watched this with me. I remember the first time I watched this with my mom, and she wasn't that huge of a fan of Drake and Josh, but she watched this movie, and she really, really enjoyed it. If you're not a fan of Drake and Josh, you will definitely enjoy this movie, because it's a lot more, I'd say it's more enjoyable than the actual TV show, and the ending to this movie is very touching. The ending to this movie, basically, they end up not going to jail. Everything's okay with them. The kids ends up saying that's the best Christmas ever. Ends up snowing outside. Of course, I forgot to say, Crazy Steve has this really funny character, this wood chipper Sally, who is another one of the antagonists in the movie because of the snow and everything. But, as I said, yes, there are some very funny moments in this movie, but the acting is also surprisingly very good in the movie. The editing is perfect also. The movie's like 88 minutes. It goes by like that. It's nothing special with the editing, but I thought the editing was definitely very, very good as well. And the cinematography, nothing that special really, but the cinematography was good. What I like about the Drake and Josh movie is that they try to make the premiere look a little bit different than how it looked like in the TV show, which makes sense, because you have more sets and everything, you have more time to do that, and I like that they do that, definitely, because that's something that the movie took advantage of, and I like that the movie showed that, because if they would have just done the cheap sets like usual, then it wouldn't have been as good, and for them to do that, really, I give a lot of credit to them, definitely. And the other reason I love this movie is because it is epic nostalgia for me. It's something that I love, and something that is just an absolutely fantastic movie. If you guys have not seen Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, I honestly would recommend it. I really would. I think it's a good movie. I think it's a timeless movie. I think it's a movie that, in my opinion, is a classic. It's a movie I'll always watch around Christmas time. It's a movie I always watch around Christmas time, and rewatching it really made me realize how much I really do love this movie, and how much I love these characters. Really, it is a fantastic movie, and definitely give it a watch, because it is very good. You guys can rent it on, like, Amazon, things like that. You can rent it on, I believe it's on Netflix. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that. I think it is. You guys can rent it on iTunes. You can buy the DVD on Amazon, but definitely watch Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh, because it is a fantastic Christmas movie. That's basically my review of Merry Christmas, Drake and Josh. I hope you guys enjoyed my review of this movie. I know you guys probably think this is a ridiculous review, but you know what, guys? There was a time in my life where all I watched was Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. That's because they were actually good then. They're terrible now. Okay, Nickelodeon is terrible now. Disney Channel is getting better. Disney Channel is slowly picking itself up with some of its shows, but Nickelodeon is done for. The only good show Nickelodeon has right now is like the Thundermans, and the rest of it are just a piece of shit. They're terrible. But that's in my review. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys in my next video, which will be for my review of the first half of the season of Once Upon a Time, because I never reviewed individually too, so I'm going to review the season. You guys will see what I do, but I'll see you guys in my next video. Okay, bye.